Hi, and welcome to my no frills, just throwing my opinion out fragrance review today of the brand Room 1015 and the two fragrances, Sweet Leaf and Cherry Punk. So I buy fragrances from just all over the place, in person and online, and I obviously also get Scentbird and Scentbox. By the way, if you would take a minute, this is a brand new channel. I have another health channel, but this is brand new just because I like fragrances, kind of a junkie. If you could take the time to like and subscribe, that would be really awesome and really helpful. And thank you for taking a second to do that. So let me just start off by saying that I really like both these unisex fragrances, but my one complaint is that neither one of them lasts very long. So let me tell you before I spray them, which I've already done because I got them yesterday, of course, a little bit about the company. You might want to, it's kind of a neat company. You might want to take the time to go look it up. I think they have a neat little site. This must be, the Sweet Leaf obviously must be one of their main sellers. No surprise since it has that cannabis note. But it's really neat. And if you go to the About, to be honest, I don't have the patience to read it all, but it looks really neat. It goes into this very wordy, almost poetic, lyric type description of how they came to be. But there are neat things about this site that you might want to check out if you have spare time and you just want to be entertained. And I'll show you. They've got music and videos aside from the About Us. And the really neat thing, I think, is kind of original, is that if you go to the fragrance that you picked out, the fragrances have a song that goes along with them. They have songs and videos. But like, for example, if you go to Sweet Leaf, you scroll down and you can listen to the song that goes along with Sweet Leaf.
Buy the ticket, take the ride. Too weird to live, too rare to die. 4:20 a.m. still on the road.
And it tells the story. It tells the story that goes along with each fragrance has a story. And they're neat little stories. I'm not going to read them all out to you. It says this is green and trippy, which it is. And it has a cute little story. And then, of course, there's Cherry Punk, which also has a matching, really suits it kind of story. And you can just... the music and the story. So that's just kind of cute, I think. So cutting to the chase finally. So Sweet Leaf, got mine from Scentbird. And the Scentbird card also has a little story, by the way. Says that the notes are grapefruit, red eucalyptus, cannabis, Angelica, and Jasmine. As I said before, I really like both of these. And they're both unisex. By the way, I'm assuming that's the keynotes anyway. A lot of times Scentbird just puts the keynotes, and I didn't even look at to make sure that's all the notes. But anyhow, when you originally spray, both of these are very interesting in the way that I don't think I've ever had fragrances change so quickly. And I could definitely tell they're by the same brand because they both do that. So spraying this Sweet Leaf, I instantly get the eucalyptus, and then it very, very quickly goes to the cannabis, which I like, but it doesn't last that long. And then it almost immediately starts to go into the Jasmine and Angelica, but the cannabis is still lingering. But see how quick it is? Like when you get that pop of grapefruit, the grapefruit and the eucalyptus immediately. Yeah, the cannabis is lingering some, and I like that. It's not that you could watch other videos, and people also tell you in other videos, it's not the smell of the smoke, like you're smoking it, which I love. I don't smoke weed, but I love the smell of it. It's not the smoke smell; it's the actual like bud smell. Like you go in the dispensary and smell them. Yeah, I really like that cannabis smell, but I can tell you from spraying it yesterday, it ends up on me personally. I can see how this will be different on everybody. It's just so changing. On me personally, this ends up drying down, leaning slightly more masculine than feminine, even though it's still definitely unisex. And then on me, it ends up drying down, I know from yesterday, to almost like a very clean, slightly powdery, male sort of soapy smell. And I still like it. I think I would layer it with other things. I wish it would keep that, not the initial pop is nice, but I wish it would keep that cannabis that it quickly jumps into but doesn't hold for very long. It's nice enough that I would layer it with something else that's going to last. I still smell the cannabis some. I just wish that cannabis smell would last longer and not go into that powdery and that Angelica, I guess. But I will definitely, I might get a whole bottle of this just because it's so unique. And maybe it won't always dry down on me into that soapy type, but it does. It's like a more of a man's clean, soapy smell after a couple hours. And then after a few hours, you definitely have to reapply. So they're not long lasting, but they're interesting enough, in my opinion, to be worth buying, you know, a full-size bottle of either one of these. I'm looking at I think they're about 100, well, I don't know. Here, you can look up the prices. They're not super, super duper pricey, but they're by no means cheap either, of course. These are both definitely niche. You know, these are not like designer mass crowd pleasers. They're niche. And I like them both. So let's jump over to the Cherry Punk, which I really, really like. And my daughter was with me when I opened these both up yesterday, and she loves them both as well. But this was definitely her favorite. And so the Cherry Punk, room 1015 Cherry Punk, the notes are cherry, saffron, Sichuan pepper, violet, and black leather, which is really what takes over is the black leather pretty quickly. So let me go ahead and like spray this on this arm. I don't have to worry about, I haven't taken a shower today yet, so I can spray it all over, but and plus I don't really have to worry because they don't last all day, you know, they don't last for hours and hours anyway. This one is so amazing just to experience spraying it because it so rapidly changes. It's amazing, really. You get this initial, very, very fleeting, just for seconds, just for a moment pop of very candy-like cherry. And it's like, it's gone almost completely. And it immediately goes into leather. It definitely, like this little picture of like a black leather, whatever, vest or shirt or something. That's what you think, soft, crinkly, dark leather, which I love the leather smell. It's almost like getting in, let me see the little story. It says, from underground clubs to the national TV, punk always had its own style, its own press, fanziness, own movies, its own poetry, so we figured it should have its own fragrance, loud like the rehearsal in the room without sound isolation. Yeah, I get in, like, if you were to get in a car with really nice leather, or wearing a nice leather jacket with a nice leather bag, you really get leather. And then I noticed yesterday, the saffron does linger. You still can smell after a couple hours. You get a different kind of cherry. It's a very faint, soft, not as tart, just kind of a soft, mellow cherry, very hidden in with the leather. Leather is the dominant note in this for sure. But both of these, the way they change and change drastically quickly is interesting. I almost want to just keep spraying them just to relive that little, it's like they are telling a story, I guess, because I just want to relive that really rapid changing events of notes. Yeah, I get the saffron and pepper, of course, but it's big time. A little tiny bit of the violet. It's big time leather. And like I said, when it dries down, it's the leather with a soft, deeper, very subtle hidden cherry. But that initial burst of cherry is like off the chain, like boom, I'm here, you know. It's very exciting, and it's just popping in and out the door. It's gone in no time. Respray it again just to get it. Yeah. And it's just changing. It's an interesting change. That is so neat. Oh gosh, I've never had fragrances that change like this so much. If only they were really, really long lasting, because that's always important to me. But these are interesting enough that especially if I go out somewhere, maybe on a date or out at night, if I go somewhere, I don't get to club that much anymore. There's no cool enough clubs around here, but if I did, I would continue to take this with me and continuously spray, and I know it would get people's attention. They'd be curious, like, what do you have on? And the sweet leaf is drying down really nice. It's not as soapy on me today as it was yesterday. And I still smell the hints of the cannabis. Like I said, the bud, not the smoke. And I love that leather. I really like both of these. My only complaint is that I like things to really last. I really like beast fragrances, but they're not all going to be beast. These are interesting and unique enough that I may buy full-size bottles. So I love them both. They don't last very long. And that's my review. I hope you guys have a great day. I really was not going to put myself in videos because of my health channel, which is very dear to my heart. But I realized I can't really talk about these fragrances just with my hands. There's just no personality involved. But yeah, if you would hit that like button and subscribe, I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great day.